Have you seen anyone like in difficulty here before?
I've made some rescues here.
Really?
Usually the rip current will come where there's no waves. People will think like, oh, that's the safe place to go because there's no waves. But actually the rip current could be there. You try to swim back to the beach against that current, and it's like, it's like swimming up a river. I paddled out after him to try to tell him to come in. I got smashed on the rocks and almost drowned.
And you wanted to help?
Yeah, I was trying to help. That was a scary situation.
大家好，我是圆圆。台湾对我来讲真的是水上活动的天堂，游泳、自由潜水、冲浪、立桨，我都喜欢。不过，我跟台湾人聊天这个话题的时候，常常他会提到海边就是很危险。还有，每一年我会看到很多新闻说有人去了玩水，结果溺死。我真的很困惑，台湾海边到底是什么部分很危险？是水流很强，还是大家对安全的概念，游泳的能力不够好吗？我不确定。但今天的影片，我会去宜兰头城找一个美国人，他之前是救生员，他救生员的经验很丰富，我会跟他聊一聊关于台湾海边的危险性。好，走吧。Hey Garrett, very happy to have you today on the channel. So the original reason why I thought I would make a video with you is because I know you have had some experience with being a lifeguard.
Yeah.
And I do have a lot of questions about Taiwan's ocean and safety. But first, maybe you could have a quick recap of who is Garrett and why you ended up in Taiwan and specifically in Ilan, Taichung?
Yeah, sure. I'm originally from California.
Okay.
I grew up on the beach, surfing, living that life. I've been in Taiwan for 12 years.
Yep.
Yeah, I started the first 2 years in Taipei, and I lived here in Waiao and Ilan for 10 years.
So you've been staying in Taiwan one more year than me. For me, it's 11 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes by fast.
It's going way too fast.
I was going to university in California, and my second to last year, I took a gap year. Okay. And so I did some traveling around Asia, about 9 months in total, backpacking, and I really fell in love with this part of the world. And so when I went back, I finished up the last year of university, and I kind of did some research on how I could move to Asia and work here and make a life.
You didn't plan to start working over there?
I kind of wasn't really looking forward to it.
Okay.
I was a marketing major. I was just seeing myself in a life in the office, you know, at a desk and being inside, and I kind of had more dreams about like traveling more. And so I did some research and I started looking into Taiwan because all I knew was made in Taiwan.
Yep.
Especially 12, 13 years ago, that's all we really knew about it. So I came out here and checked it out and realized, yeah, it's very beautiful little island with lots of beaches and good surfing and beautiful mountains, and so I just never left.
Okay.
People often ask like, why Waiao, why Ilan?
I know, yeah.
Why not Taidong or Kending? And yeah, I just had a lot of friends and a social circle in Taipei, so when I moved out here, I could still kind of keep all those same friends, and it's pretty close to Taipei, so people could come out and visit for the day.
And so here in Taichung, you have a surf shop?
Yeah.
And a restaurant?
That's right, yeah. A restaurant and a bar, Drifters, pizza pub.
Yeah.
And we do like live music on the weekends.
Yeah.
And try to have this kind of surf vibe at the bar.
I think anybody who has taken the train to Waiao must have passed by because it's like right at the exit of the train station.
Right, yeah. It's pretty easy. You can come to the beach, get off the train. On the way back, grab a drink and a pizza, and then you're right on the train again.
How would you explain what's a typical day living in Taichung?
Oh, a typical day. It's just a lot of hanging out on the beach.
Is it?
Yeah, I walk my dog on the beach, go surfing, can have some drinks, and just kind of chill out, you know? Yeah, sure, it's a lot of fun. Owning two businesses, can be a lot of work sometimes, but
yeah, right.
We're right on the beach, so
okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty good place to be.
All right. This place is called California Surf.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, like it's literally by the beach. You walk 20 seconds, not even, and you get on the beach.
It's right there, and the beach is here.
That's crazy. Yeah, like, I'm very surprised you could find this place. Like how is it possible to find such a close spot?
Yeah, it's true. It's very hard, and it was easier 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Before it became really popular.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so I have a few questions related to the safety of the ocean and maybe about lifeguard duty. So you told me before you had been a lifeguard in the US?
That's right, yeah. I worked for about 7 summers. Usually most beaches in California will have lifeguards in the summer.
Right.
So I worked for about 7 years doing that. When I was a kid, about 6 or 7 years old, I was doing the junior lifeguards.
Okay.
Which is like a summer camp kind of thing. And it's run by the lifeguards. So we'll work out on the beach and they will teach us about the ocean safety and how to make rescues and how to surf. So when I was 16, then you're allowed to get the job as the lifeguard.
Okay.
So then the following summer I was 16 and that was when I first started working as a beach lifeguard.
Whoa.
The lifeguarding in California is so good. The training is very good. We kind of have the philosophy of preventative lifeguarding, it's called. And so what that means is we educate the people who come to the beach, even before they get in the water. When you see someone set up their blanket on the beach, you walk down and talk to them and explain what is the ocean conditions today. As a lifeguard, we're not just sitting there and waiting for something to happen. There hadn't been anybody drowned on the beach while we were working.
Okay.
The whole time, the whole 7 years.
But you have had people who needed help.
Oh yeah, I've made rescues before. And
what's the most typical situation where people need help?
There's something called a rip current.
Yeah.
And so what a rip current is basically is you see the waves breaking onto the shore. All that water is coming onto the beach.
Yeah.
And so it needs to go back.
Yeah.
It needs to return. And so it'll kind of form almost like a little river inside of the ocean. And so that's water pushing people away from the beach. So that's maybe 95% at least of all the rescues and drownings are due to these rip currents.
Okay. Okay, like I have a question. So Ilan is also having rip currents, right?
Yeah. Anywhere there's waves, there's rip currents.
Oh, okay, that's how it works. Oh,
yeah.
I see.
And the bigger the waves, then the stronger the current is going to be.
Okay. In Taiwan, my experience with lifeguards is generally some people would literally tell you, you cannot swim here. And that's it. And you're like, yeah, but I can swim pretty well, and they don't care. It's like, no. Or sometimes if you can put your up to the waist, but then you go a little more and they say, no, you have to come back, right?
Yeah.
It's very restrictive. But so maybe people are more restrictive in Taiwan because Taiwanese people in average cannot swim so well.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it's true. And also the beach culture in Taiwan, you have to understand, is very new. A lot of people don't know, but there was martial law in Taiwan.
Yes.
And they really didn't want people on the beach, maybe for security reasons or defense reasons. So there was only a select number of beaches you could even go to.
Okay.
And surfing wasn't popular at all. I think there was maybe only a handful of surfers before the 90s. The older generation of Taiwanese especially, their kind of way of thinking is the ocean is dangerous. So
yeah, I know.
Just don't go.
So yeah, this is the thing I have heard so many times, and I always felt very confused. People saying the ocean is dangerous.
Yeah.
And they don't go further than that. It's just dangerous.
It's not wrong. The ocean can be very dangerous, especially if you're inexperienced. The big thing in California that we're taught is always swim near a lifeguard.
Okay.
You know, so we're taught like especially as kids, or if you're not familiar, you're not really experienced in the ocean, always to go somewhere and swim near a lifeguard.
That's great.
Eventually here, there'll be more lifeguards on the beach, and because you need that education from the lifeguards. They're the ones who know, and they can talk to the normal person on the beach and just tell them, hey, today's a little dangerous, you know, stay a little closer to the beach. And then if they do get in a problem, they can go out and help them.
Are there lifeguards here?
There's some lifeguards in Wushigong.
Yeah.
But you can't swim there. It's surfing only. They
Surfers.
just kind of let you go up to your knees.
Okay.
And there's not a lot of places you can go where you can swim and the lifeguards let you swim.
Yeah. Have you seen anyone like in difficulty here before?
I've made some rescues here.
Really?
Yeah.
Also surfers or?
No, usually swimming.
So people got in trouble here. Like, what was the issue? Also rip currents?
Rip currents, yeah. The rip current will pull you out past where you can touch.
Yeah.
And then you try to swim back to the beach against that current.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
it's like swimming up a river. So you need to swim. Like if you're in a river, you would swim to the side to get to the shore. And then if it's really strong, even you can just like treading water and just let it take you out, and then it will naturally just push you off to the side. And then you can swim back in.
You just have to be able to stay in the water for that time.
Yeah, right. Usually the rip current will come where there's no waves. People will think like, oh, that's the safe place to go because there's no waves. But actually the rip current could be there. So actually where the bottom is more shallow, the waves will break there.
Okay.
And there won't be the rip current.
How do you do a rescue when there is a rip current?
You need something to float. You need something that floats them. Lifeguards usually have like a buoy and it's attached with a rope, but really you definitely need something. It could be like a boogie board or even a surfboard, but you need something that will float. If you try to rescue someone, always look around on the beach. Maybe there's a surfboard laying there.
Take something.
And take something that floats.
Okay. So what could be the main recommendations on how to avoid, drowning?
I would tell people if you're not a strong swimmer, just stay like waist deep.
Yeah.
And then you can feel the current pulling you, so you can go back in and just move down the beach. I would say always swim near surfers, or have some other people around. So if you do get pulled out, you can call for help, and like a surfer can come paddle over and assist you. Yeah.
Learning how to swim, I guess, is also a good recommendation.
Yeah, learn how to swim is great. Even strong swimmers in the pool, if they go out into the ocean in the wrong conditions, it can still be very dangerous.
Oh yeah, I'm super confident at the swimming pool.
Yeah.
But I'm never confident in the ocean,
Yeah, you do have to have respect and know what's your limit. If you're not a really strong swimmer and used to swimming in the ocean, then like don't go out too far.
Okay.
And then I would suggest also just come in and stop by a surf shop, some local business where there's surfers around, and you can just ask them how is the conditions today, and they can kind of tell you how is the current, and we don't mind answering questions like that. You can always stop by California Surf and ask us.
Every now and then in the news we hear about some drownings, and I always felt a bit confused because I feel the news article never explains in detail what went wrong.
Right.
And I hope people could explain more, give some kind of insight to people why it happened that somebody drowned.
Yeah. I think it'd be nice, like to include a little bit of information on like how to avoid that situation.
Yeah.
Just a little education on what rip currents are and
what is the most difficult situation you have seen or you have been in the ocean?
Oh yeah, like me personally?
Yeah.
There was one in Taiwan that really stands out because I've had the surf school and the surf club here for a long time, and like almost professional surfer, he was traveling in Taiwan.
Okay.
And there was a typhoon that was nearby for quite a few days. It was like 3 or 4 days. The waves were really big, and we kept telling him like, no, you can't go. It's too big. He was really experienced, very good surfer, and he's just dying to go surfing this whole time. And so one of the locals who lives around here came by and he said, oh yeah, I think we can go over there, the next beach. I think we can stay close to the beach and there's a little wave on the inside. Okay. And I'm just thinking, oh no. They wanted to go, I couldn't stop them. And I was watching them and the current was really moving them down the beach really fast. And so I tried to wave in along my friend who's the local, and he came in, but the other guys just kept going out and going out too far as well. And so I paddled out after him to try to tell him to come in. And the current was moving very quickly down the beach towards like a long stretch of rocks where it's like there's no beach and it would be really hard to get out.
Oh, yeah.
And so as soon as he turned around and saw me waving, he said okay, and he just like a magic, he caught a wave, this perfect wave, and just made it into the beach.
Wow.
And then I turn around and I'm in front of the rocks, because the current is moving even faster than I thought.
So you got pulled towards the rocks?
Yeah, I got pulled into the rocks. And then so I had to kind of paddle in through the rocks, which was really scary. And the waves were way too big, and I got smashed on the rocks and almost drowned.
Wow. Yeah. And you wanted to help?
Yeah, I was trying to help.
You knew it was not the right time to go?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That was a scary situation.
Oh, I have one question. So rip currents is one thing, but do you think, I think people have this imagination thing where the current will pull you all the way to China, you know, like far away forever. Is this a thing, or it's actually not like that?
Well, the rip currents that pull you away from the beach, they'll go past where the last or the first wave is, the farthest wave out. It'll take you and it'll just kind of dump out all the water right there.
But there is also this real current, right? Like ocean currents. Mm-hmm. So is it possible that for real you would be pulled 20 kilometers out? Usually
the current will move along the coast.
Okay.
So it's like we call a longshore current. When there's like a typhoon in the water, it can pull you very far.
Okay.
And as you know, get to the north part of the island, you could probably just keep going, sure.
Ah, okay. So it's actually something.
Yeah.
Because I heard people say, like, due to the currents, Taiwan's ocean is more dangerous than other countries. Could this be true, or?
It could be true for countries with not a lot of waves. Anywhere that there's waves, then the currents can be strong and dangerous.
All right. Okay, cool. Thank you. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it was useful information, because I hope like there's also more education so that Taiwanese people learn how to be more safe in the water, not just avoid the water, but appreciate it and be safe. So yeah, if you like this video, please give me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.